In this lesson, I'm going to show you how to prepare your System.io account and what's actually required in the back end to get set up. There's a whole bunch of settings you'll see there, and not all of them are required on day one. So let's get into what's actually necessary. When you get a System.io account for the very first time, you don't need to fill out many details to actually get set up. But as you start using it, it will start prompting you for more and more details as it's required. So a good idea is to go into your settings and fill out as much as you can so you don't hit too many roadblocks. I'm going to show you the main things you need to fill out. You need to fill out this page here, your profile. These details will appear on receipts and invoices for your customers, so you may want to use a PO box or a virtual address here for your address, and the phone number is optional. But it does need your company name, say here, first and last name, and some address details. Moving down the page, the next requirement is emails. This is a big one. There are requirements that you now have a domain name and a business email address to send bulk emails. It is a new standard that applies to all software online. You now need to have a domain name. You can't send from a Gmail or a Hotmail address, for example. I like to use Namecheap for my domain names. I find their price is pretty good and their account area easy to use, and there's not too much confusion with getting this set up. So what you would do is register a new domain name. It can be anything you like, and it will be yours for a year on a reoccurring price. So usually you can get something for under $10, and they've always got deals going on. The other thing you'll need is a business email. So up here, business email. They start from about $1.40, $1.50 a month. So again, not a lot of money. You only need one mailbox, and that's going to be to run an email address that matches your domain name. So say you register myawesomecourse.com, your email address would be info@myawesomecourse.com. They would match. So whatever you choose, it will also be your email. So once you have a domain name all set up, or if you have one currently, you can start working your way down this emails page, following the instructions on screens. This setup will look different depending where your domain name is registered, but I'll give you an overview of how mine is set up so you get a bit of an idea about the process. So click here to authenticate your domain and display its information in your emails. So type in your domain name, but leave out the www. You just want the domain name itself with the .com, .net, whatever after. Hit save. It says pending because it's waiting on us to do something next. Click on your DNS settings. This scary looking page will pop up for you. These are purely to copy and paste over to where your domain name is registered. So log into where your domain name is hosted. Mine is sitting in SiteGround. Your page will look a little bit different, but all of them work very, very similar. So what you're looking for, you want to get from your dashboard down to where your domains are, and you're looking for DNS editor. Anything with the word DNS manager, DNS settings, you want to go there. And all this is a list of instructions that tells the different parts of your domain name what to do, whether it be emails, websites, or in our case, setting up System.io. So back to our instructions, it's saying to set up a CNAME, so let's do that. Click on CNAME, and it's going to ask for something before your domain name. So you'll notice that's grayed out slightly there. It's looking for the part before. So that's this part here. You only highlight that part before the dot. You don't need the rest because it's already there. So copy that, paste it in. See, it's got a green thing around it. You might get a tick on your settings. That means it's correct. And then you need to fill out the other part, which is this section here, resolves to the value. You need all of that one. You can copy that whole address and paste it here. And then click create. And then the address will appear down here that it's complete. Next one. The next one is also a CNAME, and it's all of this up to the dot your domain name. So include that whole section there. Paste. Resolves to the second part, all of that. Paste. Click create. Next one, another CNAME. Grab everything before that dot your domain name. Copy. Paste it in. If for any reason you get an error, sometimes it's purely a space that you've accidentally put in there. So you can check on either side that there's no spaces. Copy over the value, all of that. Paste. So I've just got that error there because I copied a space. Create. And the last one is different. It's a text. So txt, you copy all of that, _DMARC, and we go to text, paste that in, check there's no spaces, the value. Sometimes this is cut off by your screen and it's hard to select, so use the little copy button there. Copy, paste. This email address here should be your domain name email address, so info@myawesomecourse.com should go in here. Done. Now you can close this, and this pending will come up as verified after a short time. It can be a couple of hours or sometimes overnight, so you may just need to come back to that one. We can move on, however, and start verifying our email address. So this step here is click to confirm your address, and I'm going to use my address that's associated with my domain name. Click save. Now it's sent me an email, and I just need to open that email and click a link. So you'll see here I've got an email from system, click on that, and you've just got to click that tiny little blue here. Click here to verify. Confirm your sender address, confirm, successfully confirmed. And you can jump back into your settings. Again, that can take some time to verify as well, so don't panic yet, we'll come back to that. And then once that's approved, you can start filling in your sender and testing email addresses there, and none of this is required down the bottom. The next big one that you need is custom domains. They do give you a free one, which includes the word system.io in the address, but if you do want to use that brand new address you've just registered, that's how you do it here. So click add a domain. This time we're going to select something before the domain name. I've already got a website on my hayleybaker.com, so I'm going to use a subdomain. So instead of having www.hayleybaker.com, which would go to my website, I'm going to replace the www with info and click save. This DNS configuration will pop up for the domain name. You'll notice it's very similar to the email one we just did, but just less records. So jumping back into where our domain name is registered and managed. So you'll notice here our first option is going to be a CNAME. So we're going to jump in there and get on the right page. CNAME. It's already got my domain name part here, so I only need to put in the part before it, which is info. In your case, it might be www. Resolves to. You need the whole address here, copy. Paste that in there. Click create. That one is done. Heading back. The next one we need to do is also a CNAME, so we can stay on that same page. This time we've got this long number all the way up to the dot. Copy that. Paste it in there. And this one we need the full address as well. Paste that in there. Click create. And that record is created. So now with time, this pending validation will go to validated. Now that the domain has come through as ready to use, I can now set it as my default. So rather than all my funnels picking up the system.io address, I'm going to change it to mark as default. So anything new I create will use this address. If you have a current funnel, I'll show you how to change that so it uses this address as well. You go into your sales funnels, go inside your funnel. These funnel settings here on the top row, click on that, and you'll see a drop-down box. That drop-down box should have your two options or more, and you can select the address that you prefer to use for this funnel. Then click save. You'll notice here this URL path has now changed. This is the address to this funnel. So this is the address you would send people if you want them to visit. You also have the option of not naming it. You can remove that there and click off. And now it just uses that complete base address. So if yours is www.myawesomecourse.com, anyone that visits that will go straight to this page here. You'll see up the top here, there's nothing after that address. So that's a good idea if you only have the one funnel and you just want people to go straight there and not have any other details after the address. Another step that may or may not be required based on your setup is adding a redirection if you're using www. So if someone puts in your address, myawesomecourse.com without the W's, your website won't appear. This is really only a problem if you're talking to people word of mouth and they're typing in your address without the W's. So the solution for that is to set up a redirection. So no matter whether they put the W in or not put the W in, they end up in the same place. I'm going to zoom in so you can see these instructions here. But essentially you log into your domain provider, find something with the wording of redirection or forwarding, click add redirection, create a redirection from whatever your domain name is to the same address but with the W's, and then click save. It's a very quick process. You've just got to find the right setting under redirection or forwarding wherever your domain is hosted. Usually you can get these companies on chat and just ask for help if you can't find something. GoDaddy and Namecheap have very good technical support. You can usually shoot them an email or jump on their live chat and they can help you sort it out really quickly. A quick overview of what we've just set up and a bit of a checklist for you. Your profile area should now be complete, including an address. In the email section, you've added your domain name and you've got the DNS settings set up with your domain provider. Still in the email section, you've verified your email address. Under custom domain, you've added a domain name and set up the DNS settings. And once those are verified, you have the option to set that domain as the default funnel address for all your funnels. That is all you need to do in the account setup area. And the beautiful thing is you only ever have to do this once. It is now done. You don't have to look at this again, and you can move on with the fun stuff and make a bunch of funnels, a bunch of websites, and use the rest of the features with System.io. Although there are a bunch of settings here on the left, you don't need to set them all up right now. Those 3 different pages I've just shown you is enough to get started. I hope this video was useful in getting your account set up. I'll see you in the next video.